What's up, everybody? Hey, today is June 5th, 2025, and I am talking real estate housing inventory. I'm Anthony Delicandro, real estate broker, real estate coach, and I've been having a lot of conversations over the course of the last 10 days to 2 weeks with clients as we've been seeing a lot of headlines about national inventories rising. And I've been explaining a scenario that I'm seeing, and I wanted to put an image to words and explain this so that it makes sense, because it makes a lot of sense to me. This was introduced to me about 13 years ago. I'm gonna do a longer video where I'm gonna give credit to where that came from, but to keep this short and kind of concise, I wanna explain the principle. So where this started was, last week I asked a couple of my coaching clients that are located in some of the more challenging markets in the country. One in Naples, Florida, one in Miami, Florida, one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And I've since asked a couple other agents, similar process, but the numbers that we talked about were as such. I asked two questions. I asked, how many homes sold in your market last month? And what was the median days on market for those homes that sold? And with all three, the median was relatively close. It was just about 80 days, give or take. And so 80 is longer than what we experienced a couple years ago, but it's certainly not, it's a good representation, especially considering if you look at this chart, there's a dotted line in the middle between the segments where that represents, that's my representation of median, right? Half of the homes sold in less than 80 days, half of the homes sold took longer than 80 days. What we're experiencing is when you take the lower half of the bucket and average it, the average marketing time was about 4 to 5 weeks. And so 4 to 5 weeks is relatively normal marketing time as we're accustomed to long-term averages. It's not normal to 2022, so it seems as a shock, right? When 2022, our average marketing time was about 4 to 5 days. But today, right, 4 to 5 weeks for half of the listings that are selling. In Naples, Florida, for example, there were over 800 sales in April. That means 400 of them sold in just a couple of weeks. That's not a terrible market. The difference that we're seeing is the ones that are selling in the lower half of the bucket are being well positioned, meaning they're being competitively placed. They have an agent that's doing a great competitive, taking a competitive landscape of the market and pricing it well. You got a motivated seller. It's coming onto the market and it's quickly flowing off of the market, kind of like a light piece of driftwood flowing down a stream. Conversely, when you have listings that are not competitively priced, an agent that's maybe not dialed into the market, and a seller that's maybe not as motivated, you're seeing those listings sit a whole lot longer and ultimately sink to the bottom. And that's what's happening right now. We have an inventory that's building with a lot of inventory that's not selling because it's not competitively placed. That's the explanation of the visual. I'll share that with you. If you have any questions or want to see a copy of it, shoot me a message. I hope this is impactful and helpful in your next conversation with a motivated seller to help get that priced well and moved quickly. Have a powerful day.